What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Welcome here today to an NBA mock draft where I'm going to make the decisions based on if I was the general manager for every single NBA team picking in the first round. So this isn't like a real mock draft because a mock draft is really mocking what you think will happen on draft night. So this is probably not going to happen because I'm not going to think like all 30 GMs. They know more than me about maybe some of these guys' peripherals, their characteristics, like off the court issues, and really what fits their overall team culture and their team style of play better than I do. But I'm just going to be making a selection for each team on what I think I would do if I was in their position. So if you guys do enjoy these videos, drop a thumbs up. I will have my final prediction mock draft up tomorrow on the main channel. It'll be a 2-round mock. Hope you guys enjoy that. But yeah, this is just going to be a first-round mock today. We're on Fanspo, the GOATed website, and we are going to be mocking this draft. So it's looking weird because, like, Paolo Banchero, I think, was like plus 2,000 on sportsbooks to go number 1 yesterday. In the morning, and then by the end of the day yesterday, he's like plus 400. I think Chet's like plus 200, and like Jabari's like minus 100. So it's like very still like up in the air who goes number 1. But if I were the Orlando Magic, I would take Chet Holmgren over Jabari Smith. I don't know. I'm starting to even like be, well, oh, okay, I didn't know that happened now. But yeah, I'm starting to even be closer to like Banchero and Jabari Smith. Like I might even like Banchero more than Jabari Smith, which is crazy because in my big board, I just had Jabari Smith 2 and Banchero 4. And I'm like, should I have done that? Maybe I'm too high on Jabari Smith. But people have Jabari Smith as maybe their consensus number 1 player. I have it with Chet Holmgren. I talked about him in my big board. So if you really just kind of want like a player analysis, I mentioned it more in the big board, but I'm just going to kind of talk about more of the team philosophy here. And I think just for the Magic, getting Chet Holmgren that can just provide you an absolute stellar defense in your front court. Either it's Chet and Isaac, Chet and Carter Jr. He's just, I think, going to be, and he's going to get time to develop. It's not like you need to win right now. This year, you let Chet develop. Hey, maybe next year you flirt with the playing tournament. Suggs gets a little bit better. Franz develops. Cole develops. Chuma keeps developing. So, yeah, I would take Chet number 1 if I were the Orlando Magic. And I don't really think I would debate it. So, if I was number 2 here with the Oklahoma City Thunder, it would come down between Banchero and Jabari Smith. I still think I would lean Jabari Smith, but slightly. I'm very close to saying I would like Banchero more, but I'm going to go with Jabari Smith because I think there's also a little bit more defensive upside with him. And I know he's not the greatest playmaker, but him playing with, I think, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander can really take his game to the next level. And I love Jaden Ivey, but I just wouldn't take Jaden Ivey in OKC. I don't think it would make a lot of sense. So with the 3rd pick, the Houston Rockets. Okay, so yeah, this is the Rockets pick. I don't know why the Thunder's logo is still up. But yeah, we're up here with the Rockets. And since, like, if they had Christian Wood still, I would have said take Jaden Ivey. But if they have, now that they don't have Christian Wood, it looks like Banchero fits right in. You have Banchero and Sengun in your front court, and you figure that out. Maybe it's not going to work defensively. Maybe it will long term. But I would love Jaden Ivey playing with, I would really love Jaden Ivey playing with Jalen Green. And I mean, but power, like finding a really good power forward is tough in the NBA. So if you can find that in Banchero, you do it. I feel like I would take Ivy though. I just like that's your point guard for the future. Him and Jalen Green, that's your backcourt for the next 10 plus years. You still have Sengun. You still have picks like down the line. You still have trade assets. I don't know. I think I would go Ivy if I were the Rockets, actually. Yeah, I think you solidify that backcourt with Jalen Green and Jaden Ivey. I have Jaden Ivey over Paolo Banchero, so this shouldn't sound too crazy for some of you guys if you watched the big board video. So this makes it pretty easy with the Kings at 4. You take Paolo Banchero out of Duke. So, like, he fits that front court. I mean, we'll see how it would work floor spacing-wise, but him and Sabonis there in the front court. You have De'Aaron Fox, Davion Mitchell, in the backcourt. Barnes is your small forward. Maybe you go out and make a trade for John Collins. Really, actually wouldn't make a lot of sense with Banchero now. But I think the Kings, that would be a pretty easy decision here. So since the Pistons have yet to move Jeremy Grant, I don't know if they will. I don't know if I would really want Keegan Murray there because you got Sadiq Bey, you got Isaiah Stewart. Do you take Keegan Murray, but is he going to come off the bench? No. I would want to take a starter, and I would take Shaedon Sharpe. And like I said about the Magic, you're probably not going to make, you maybe could make the playing tournament this year. You definitely could take a jump. If Cade just has an elite sophomore season, Bey gets better, Stewart gets better. But yeah, I think Shaedon Sharpe would be the selection here if you're not going to move Jeremy Grant. And he kind of can round out that starting 5. Next up, we have the Pacers here, who are an interesting team because I have no idea what they are doing. It looks like they want to move at least Brogdon, Miles Turner if they can. I think I would either lean AJ Griffin here or Keegan Murray, just depending on who they move. So like they have Miles Turner, so I probably wouldn't even think about Jalen Duren. I mean, they do have Tyrese Halliburton, but like him and Dyson Daniels could probably play together. I would just worry about the floor spacing a little bit. So I'd probably go with the value of Keegan Murray here. Yeah. It's either Keegan Murray or AJ Griffin for me. I'd probably go Keegan Murray. I think just getting him at 6 is pretty good value. And he could be a nice kind of DHO, pick and pop guy with Halliburton for years to come. Now we got Portland at 7. So I didn't incorporate any trades in this. Can you trade picks during the draft? I don't think so. So that's what made it difficult. So if I was Portland and I could move from 7 to 12 and acquire Lou Dort, you do that any day of the week, even if you give up Keon Johnson. So hey, I'll mention a trade right there. I could also see like maybe the Pacers going after like a John Collins or somebody like that. But yeah, if I were the Blazers and the Thunder said, yeah, we'll give you Lou Dort to move down 5 spots, you 100% do that. You don't even think twice. You get a great 3-and-D guy. I would like his peripherals next year with Damian Lillard over Mathurin or AJ Griffin, who I'll probably have them take. And then at 12, you could probably still land like a Johnny Davis or Jalen Duren or somebody like that, or Mark Williams. But if I was Portland here, I'd probably go Benedict Mathurin. I love AJ Griffin, and I think he has a higher ceiling, but in more of a like a NBA ready, like right now player, it would probably come down to Johnny Davis or Benedict Mathurin. But I'd go Benedict Mathurin for them. The Pelicans are a team that also doesn't really need to take like a solidified NBA ready guy. So they could look at Dyson Daniels or AJ Griffin. I think these are my top 2 players on the board from my big board. It does go a little bit out of order because teams, I guess, winning objectives are different right now than some others. So this would really depend. I mean, I feel like Dyson Daniels would be a solid pick here. Yeah, because like you can maybe develop. It depends if McCollum eventually moves to a point guard, but either way, you have Daniels and Alvarado as your kind of point guard future. I like that. And then they're a deep team, so it's not like you have to rely on Dyson Daniels too much his rookie year, and you can kind of develop him. Spurs, I would go AJ Griffin. I think the value is. Would I go AJ Griffin actually? Hold on. Well, now I can't go back. Can I not go back? I mean, I don't mind giving them AJ Griffin. Well, I can do this, and then I think I can undo that pick. Right there we go. So AJ Griffin is interesting because I do like Jalen Duren for them here just to give them some big man depth. Would I give them AJ Griffin? But I just love AJ Griffin's potential. And like it sucks too because like Dyson Daniels to Washington would have been like the pick because they desperately need a point guard. But I think if I was San Antonio, what would I do? I mean, you have Vassell, you have Keldon Johnson. I mean, Griffin could probably play the 2, 3, or 4, and you could probably have lineups of Murray, Griffin, Johnson, Vassell, and Poeltl out there at once. And I mean, if you're gonna lock up Poeltl for the next 3 years, does it really make a lot of sense in bringing back bringing in Duren? I mean, there is some sense in that, but I think I would go AJ Griffin just for the upside there with that pick, and you can have really like a mean 3-headed wing. I guess trio, which is Vassell, Johnson, and Griffin, if you could develop Griffin. So next up, we have the Washington Wizards. I would say Jalen Duren, but they do have a plethora of centers under contract. I mean, KP is a borderline center. You have Gafford, you have Thomas Bryant. Just did their rebuild. I wouldn't take a center. So I would probably go Johnny Davis here if I were them. It just gives you a perimeter scorer. Yeah, it gives you some collateral if you do move Bradley Beal. But either way, he just at least gives you some more shooting off the bench to join like Corey Kispert over there. And we'll see if like Kuzma comes off the bench for them this year. But yeah, I'd go Johnny Davis if Dyson Daniels is off the board. With the Knicks here, I would probably go Jalen Duren. I think, yeah, he'd be my top guy on the board. Mitchell Robinson's an unrestricted free agent. Nerlens Noel, injury prone. I mentioned this plethora of times. So, yeah, I would go Jalen Duren there out of Memphis. Now we're on the clock here with the Thunder. Now, this is a pick that they can kind of get a little bit creative on because now they do have Jabari Smith on their team. I wouldn't still mind them adding a big. And you know what? I would actually probably want them to add a more NBA-ready big, and that's a Jeremy Sohan. Maybe that's a Tari Eason. Maybe that's a Nikola Jovic. Since they're still waiting on like Pukaszewski and some other guys really to develop, I would probably go Tari Eason, who is NBA ready. And boy, teams would like if the Thunder made it known that they were taking Tari Eason, you probably have, I don't think I could see the order, but you probably have everybody in the mid-teens saying like, oh, God, we got to trade up. Like, you got Minnesota saying that. You got Atlanta saying that. You got Chicago saying that. So, yeah, Tari Eason, I think you should go with him. He's NBA ready. And, you take some more guys that are, like, kind of ready to help you win now. And, like, I don't know if they're going to make any trades with these draft picks. They didn't make a move for, like, Sabonis, which I said they should have done at the deadline, but you had Tari Eason and Jabari Smith in this draft. It's pretty good. So next up, we have the Charlotte Hornets. I think this is a no-brainer. You take Mark Williams. If they're not trading for Miles Turner, which, hey, if you could trade 13 for Miles Turner, you do that straight up. I think the Pacers would be intrigued in that deal. Yeah, I think they would. I mean, I'm sure you could probably do like some Brogdon Turner sign and trade for Miles Bridges, because I'm sure Pacers would be willing to do that. I don't know if it'll come to that, though. All right, so next up we have Cleveland, and I would definitely take Ochai Agbaji here because he's a scorer off the bench, and they want to be a 6 seed or better next year. They do not want to be in the play-in tournament again. They learned their lesson. So we also have the Charlotte Hornets once again, and this would be Ty Washington for me. Malachi Branham or Nikola Jovic, Jeremy Sohan, great value, but I think they do need a backup point guard because you look at who it is under contract. Well, Rozier's more of a 2, but it's Isaiah Thomas, yeah, it's not great. So I would go Ty Washington here if I were the Charlotte Hornets. With the Hawks here at 16, this is pretty easy for me. It's Jeremy Sohan out of Baylor. I think the value is there. Rockets here, I think they could take a flyer on, I was going to say Malachi Branham, but I think Malachi Branham, or I think they can wait and develop on Jovic, because Jovic probably has top 10 ceiling in this draft, and you're a Rockets team who took Usman Garuba last year. Like, you can wait on some of these guys, and that's why I would take kind of Jovic here with the 17th overall pick, and I kind of spoiled who it was going to go before, and that is Malachi Branham. So next up, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves, who I think could also use like a Tari Eason, a Jeremy Sohan in this draft, but I'm going to have them take EJ Liddell, kind of the next option there, just to plug him in next to Karl-Anthony Towns. We'll see if they make a trade for Jeremy Grant. They've been in the rumors for Clint Capella. That's who I'd have them take. A team that I think would be gaining immense value here, Ousmane Dieng at 20. A team that's probably not going to be in the play-in tournament again next year if like Portland gets better, Sacramento gets a little bit better, and that is the San Antonio Spurs. They're going to kind of wait and develop on some of these guys, and that's going to be Ousmane Dieng. The Nuggets at 21, a player I absolutely love in this draft, Blake Wesley. I'm very high on Blake Wesley out of Notre Dame, and he can provide them some great scoring off the bench. You have that back, like, apparently they might move Monty Morris, apparently, like, because of the emergence of Bones Hyland. So you have Bones Hyland and Blake Wesley off the bench. Oof, that's a chef's kiss right there. I would love that so much. Next up, with the 22nd overall pick, we have the Memphis Grizzlies, a team that could also take a chance on somebody because, like, they're so deep as it is. We'll see if they make a larger move this offseason. But yeah, I think they can kind of take a guy that was super high on boards going into this draft, and that's Jaden Hardy. They can kind of let him develop in the draft or on the bench. They can let him develop in the G League and then kind of get his value back up and kind of get his just like skill set back up, you know, to be at an NBA level. Next up, we have the Philadelphia 76ers at 23. Another team that could use a backup point guard. I mean, like you have, yeah, is it Grant Riller? Is it Shake Milton? Go Kennedy Chandler here. Take another Tennessee guard. They didn't trade Jaden Springer, right? In the James Harden deal? No. But yeah, take Kennedy Chandler. I think it's pretty good value for you there. They could also look at backup big, like if they wanted Walker Kessler. I think I would, yeah, no, I still like Kennedy Chandler over one of those guys. Milwaukee here at 24, I like Marjon Beauchamp. I just kind of like his size, 6'7". He could probably guard 2 3s and 4s in this league, and they can keep kind of developing. I think he does need to put on a little bit more weight, but either way, maybe he doesn't even have to do that. But either way, I think he's a really good player. San Antonio with their third first-round pick in this draft. I think I would lock up some big man depth. I didn't go Jalen Duren before, so I would go Walker Kessler out of Auburn here. 26 for the Houston Rockets, I would take Jalen Williams. I think he could be a crafty scorer for you off the bench. I would like to maybe see Jalen Williams go to a more win-now team, but if it's the Rockets, so be it. I mean, and the value's there. You shouldn't pass up on it. You always go best player available in an NBA draft. Heat at 27. I mean, Dalen Terry's interesting. Christian Brown's interesting. Trevor Keels is very interesting. I even like Andrew Nembhard to one of these win-now teams. Same with Wendell Moore. This is a tough one. This would be either Christian Brown, Dalen Terry. I think I'm going to have Dalen Terry go. Trevor Keels I like. Andrew Nembhard I like. Wendell Moore. But I'm going to have Dalen Terry because they could probably use another point guard in that rotation. I also mentioned that they should try to trade Kyle Lowry and figure it out for Kyrie Irving. You probably wouldn't do Hero and Lowry for Irving. Probably doesn't make you better, but something to think about, you know. You probably get like Seth Curry in that deal as well. Warriors here, 28. This is Christian Brown. I've mocked this a ton, and if he's there for the Warriors, I would take him. Memphis at 29. I would probably go Wendell Moore, or I would go Kendall Brown. Take a chance on Kendall Brown. Do I like Brown here? Because I already gave them one like wait and see guy in Jaden Hardy. What would I do if I were here? That's what I'm doing. I'm the GM. I'd probably try to go somebody that I think could make an immediate impact. And that could be Andrew Nemhard. Like, he could probably back up, like, kind of replace Tyus Jones as a backup point guard. And then finally, with the Denver Nuggets at 30, you also want to take somebody that can probably help you win now. I mean, they have a Richard Jefferson, huh? What? They probably have a deep enough rotation and like Porter Jr., Murray coming back, Morris. I just took, it'd be cool if I had the players, I just drafted them. But I just took like Wesley, like, they probably don't need to take somebody that needs to make an immediate impact, so that has some potential, and I think I would take Kendall Brown if I were them. So yeah, this is my first round mock draft on what I would do if I was the general manager of every team. It would look similar to some of my mock drafts, but either way, I hope you guys did enjoy. Drop a like if you did. Like I said, tomorrow will be my final 2022 NBA mock draft. That'll come out midday tomorrow. And yeah, that's what I'm going to kind of die on the hill and then watch when I upload that video. Some trades could happen for a draft pick. So either way, I hope you guys did enjoy. And I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.